So I'd like to fit an oil pump, sorry, not oil pump, an oil filter to the bike. It seems to be sensible. The B25 had a filter as original fitment, but the B50 didn't. It's not entirely clear why, but apart from the bearings in the 250 being more fragile, but it does seem like a sensible thing to do. So I managed to find one of these. It's a sort of generic one as far as I know. Maybe it's up in Norton actually. Anyway, it's so basically a generic filter. Very simple, just the cover and a cartridge filter. It's got in and out written on it. But what I'm thinking is I can maybe fit it in behind here. Perhaps if I could make some kind of P-clip type clamp. I think this is 1 inch. I'll check it in a minute, but I think that's a 1 inch tube. But with so it's just a strap around there, and they pick up on these bolts, the UNF standard size. Might need to cut them down a bit, but that's okay. So that might be quite neat. These are go in the return hose. This is the return hose, the rocker feed. So basically, I just pick up this hose, have it come in on the middle and out on the side. So I'd have to come over and back down. So I need a loop in it, and then out and back up to the top of the tank. So yeah, I think that might work. I can still, if it is there, I can still get access to the filter to get it off without any problem. So that could work quite well. It's directly above the exhaust, but I don't think that's a serious issue. So, how do I get hold of a P-clip or two P-clips? I either make one or try and find one existing already. I'll just measure this diameter first so and check that it is 1 inch. It used to be pretty substantial because of the vibration apart from anything else. I think anything too light would just crack. One inch and 128th of an inch. So yeah, basically it's 1 inch in the thickness of the paint. Okay, so 1 inch P-clip might just do it. So if it needs to be, I can make some, or make one, make a single big one with 2 holes in it. That would be neater. Either that or maybe find 2 off the shelf that would fit a 1 inch tube. Okay, so these P-clips have arrived. They look to be the right size to grip onto the 1 inch frame. They're pretty flimsy really, which is my main worry. But and also the holes in them are slightly too small for these screws. But I think I'll give them a go anyway. None to lose. If it drops off, I'll have to come up with something else. But worth a go, and at least it'll prove the point. So I need to drill these out to 8mm, I reckon, just to make sure that these screws fit through. Yep, it's good. So I'll just trim off these screws. So if I screw these in as far as they go and mark the threads for this, so that's the amount I need to take off the other end, if that makes sense. Right, 7/16 UNF die nut. So this is the shorter one, so that needs and there's my red mark. So yeah, this is about 5mm. 5mm off the end, so stick it in here for a start, and then I'll saw off the spare 5mm. Probably make it 6, so I've got a bit of a space at the bottom of the blind hole. Doing this, of course, when you get the burrs and the saw marks and stuff on the end, when you run the die nut off, it cleans up the threads on its way out, so that's why I'm doing it this way. So now winding it off, we'll make sure that that potentially distorted thread is cleaned out. There we go. It actually goes in deeper than it looks. Yeah, that's fine, but I've got the thickness of the P-clip and a washer or two. That's fine. So, same again for the other one. Right, let's give this a go. So, one clip. So, how's that going to work again? I was going to go like that, wasn't it? I was trying to remember. So, yeah, it goes like that. So, that can go on there. Sealant on the threads as usual. Okay, so that's done up now. Reasonably tight, not too tight. I don't want to strip the threads. And yeah, so it's obviously got some resilience with the rubber, and these P-clips are quite thin. So there's a bit of spring as well, which could be bad if it vibrates and snaps off. I don't think it would stand up to motocross use, but maybe for my road use it'll be fine. Yeah, if it does draw off, then so be it. I'll work out something stronger. Right. So a concern with having this filter here, horizontal, pretty much horizontal, is that it ends up with a big air pocket in the top, which I'm not really too bothered about. And even half a filter is better than none. But in fact, I mean, the inlet is around this outer ring, and it comes out the center. So if it is like that, I mean, it should fill to that sort of level, I would say. So it'll be relatively full. And as I say, some filter is better than none at all. So I'm going to just run with that. I was thinking about putting it a horizontal bar across here somehow and just bolting the filter to that, but then the outlet in that would be on this side, which is not ideal. So yeah, I'm going to run with it as it is. See how we go. The other thing I've got is some 8mm, I think it is, PVC tube. I'm going to put translucent stuff on, or transparent. This claims to be oil resistant, and I don't see any reason why it shouldn't be. I don't know, people are probably screaming at me, this is a really stupid idea, but I'm going to give it a go. And if nothing else, it'd be interesting to turn the engine over and make sure this is filling up with oil and feeding back up to the top of the tank. Put a bit of oil on that casting just to ease the pipe over. Gonna work because it's freezing cold in here, so the plastic is very cold. I might have to warm it up. So let's use this to warm What's that doing? Turn that off, turn that on, that's better. Turn this temperature down to about 100, say, so I don't melt the plastic. Okay, so that's 100. Okay, with this air gun I can warm this up so that it will run over the oil filter inlet. That's better. That's much more, much softer. You're fighting chance of getting it on. Right, so that clip is now on there. If you can see that on the outlet from the scavenge, and the pipe runs up away from the exhaust. Actually, that pipe is touching the swing arm. Might sort that out later. Anyway, the new tube runs up to the filter. Yeah, so it runs up to the filter. There's a big loop around the top to avoid any kinking. So it goes up and over down to the inlet to the filter. Then the outlet from the filter comes up, of course, to the top of the frame. So if I take the spark plug out, put it in gear and turn the engine over, I might be able to pump some oil up. Let's give that a go. The oil's up to about here now on this feed. It's got to go right over the top and then back down into the filter. I suppose I should do the filter up as well, would be a good idea, wouldn't it? A bit of oil on the seal first. Of course, these should only be hand tight anyway, so that's okay. That'll do, I think. Through, and I think I've finally filled up the filter because it's just started to come up on this outlet side. So maybe I can show you that. So we're up to here now. Quite a slow process. But it's definitely pumping and the filter is full. There's no obvious back pressure. So I'm happy to start it up in due course. So the oil's here now. So it creeps along at, or perhaps a centimetre per turn of the engine. Yeah, I'm not going to go all the way. Happy that it's working and that the oil is flowing through. So good. I think that should be a reasonable improvement. Might make the bearings last a bit longer, keep the oil a bit cleaner. Thanks for watching.